So anyways, we should start.
Let's start.
How should we start? First, we're going to introduce ourselves. So Oscar will take half an hour and Megan and I 2 minutes to tell us who we are and why we're here and stuff like that. So go ahead, Oscar.
We'll let you kick it off.
Oh my God. All right. My name is Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I've been in Panama for over 12 years. Before Panama, I was living and working in tourism industry in Costa Rica, more precise in Manuel Antonio. So I have a nice background on tourism and also hotel industry, restaurants, bar, etc., and hospitality. Here in Panama, I have done a lot of experience running tour operators and also running other type of tours and interpretation services since the year of 2010. Um, Here, basically, what I do in this company, I'm jack of all the trades. So I will be in the operations your driver. I'm your guide, like with Megan. I am Mama Goose, basically. So I'm making sure everyone is safe and sound. I'm making sure everyone is having a great time. And introducing, basically, will be the bridge between the Panama culture and the North American culture or any other nationality comes outside of Panama. Since I've been here living for a long time. But here, we got returned in Panama with Roddy starting 2017. I
This one goes micro.
Sorry?
No, we just had some background noise there. It's fine.
Sorry. So I started this company with Rod back in 2017, but we were involved in relocation services and Expat services since 2011. Myself personally, I started running a Mucho Gusto Panama, and today now we're transforming Return Panama, successfully doing personal, more customized experiences for those that want to check out Panama. They want to really feel the culture, and they want to make sure if this country is for you guys, or maybe not. So this is what I try to do my best. Yeah.
So some of you guys might have heard us talking about the Oscarisms with Michelle, who came on one of our tours. Oscar has a lot of great sayings for us. You guys will get to learn them. One I wanted to mention that wasn't on the shirts that I realized should have been is anything for my people. He says that one a lot.
Anything for my
Anything
people.
for my people.
That's mandatory for sure.
Yes. And so anyway, into my bio, I'm Megan. I'm originally from Philadelphia area, hence the Go Eagles tonight. And I grew up in Pennsylvania, went to Penn State University, graduated in international development, and ended up being a Peace Corps volunteer here in Panama. I served for 2 years and learned a lot about the Panamanian culture and the country and learned to speak Spanish. And during that time, met Oscar and joined these guys with Retire Panama in 2019.
Yep.
And so now I handle a lot of operations, logistics in the company, and I also go on tour with Oscar. And I love to interact with you guys, share everything that I've learned about Panama, why I love living here so much. Oscar and I live in Boquete, but we travel a lot throughout the entire country on tour and just for fun. That's me.
Okay, well, since Oscar and Megan took the 10 minutes for introductions, I'm Rod. Okay, let's carry on. No, okay, I'm Rod from Vancouver, Canada. It's 10 years this month that I moved to Panama. Never regretted it. It's been great. Met Oscar in my first few months here. He saved my butt a couple times in the expat relocation thing because I did it all wrong. So we first started as friends and we started doing business together. And it's been our goal since then, over the last 10 years, to help expats successfully move to Panama. So I have a history in corporate background from everything from retail to publishing, stuff like that. But I really love my life in Panama. It's really laid back. I love what I do. I help people not make the mistakes I made when I relocated here. So it's just great. I live in Cherokee Province, about 15 minutes outside of Boquete. in a small town, a little warmer, small town feels like grandma's house in the 1970s. And so, or grandma's neighborhood, I should say. So I really enjoy it here, and that's what we do. Our company is Retire in Panama. We offer monthly tours of 8 to 12 people at a time. We do private tours, we do pet relocation, we help people buy cars, but that's not what tonight is about. Tonight is just about you guys, meeting you guys, getting to know. Any question you ask us, we're going to give you an honest answer. And you're looking at 20 years experience helping expats move here. We're not going to guide you, lead you somewhere else to tell you, oh, you got to go to this website, you got to buy this product to get the answer. We're just here, like, ask your questions. So the format tonight is going to be, we're going to have open questions that you can unmute yourself and you can ask a question. Or please, right now, if you're thinking of something, start putting it into the chat so we can get to all the questions tonight. The chat's down at the bottom. Again, if you hover over your screen, you'll see the chat box, and you can just type your question in there about what you want to know about Panama. Now, before, in the 15 minutes that we were waiting for everyone to join here, a couple of people have already asked, and it is what it is. We got to start with what's happening in Panama. What are the restrictions? What are the COVID updates in Panama? I answer several of those emails and phone calls every single day. So here it is. Panama, I'm not going to say, like, Panama has one of the lowest COVID rates in the world right now, as far as percentage of population with active COVID and transmission rates. It's very low. We basically have no restrictions except for the government has given businesses like dance clubs and event promoters the option of having full capacity or having, I think it's 60% capacity. And if it's full capacity, they want vaccinated only. If it's 60% capacity, they want negative COVID test or vaccination, like for concerts and stuff like that. So besides that, I don't even think there's a curfew left anymore.
Only Boquete remains non-officially, still
I
not.
thought they released Boquete on Monday.
No. What I saw was David,
Yeah. Oh, there's very few curfews left. If there is, it's midnight to 4 a.m. Like,
yeah.
And virtually all businesses are open. We still wear masks, and it's not like a mask mandate or anything. And there's not like there's people getting arrested in the street not for having them. People just wear masks. It's just not really an issue for Panamanians there. So if you're out jogging or bicycling or walking the Santa Costera in Panama City, no, you're probably not going to have the mask around. You're not, of course not. Or if you're at the beach, no, you're not going to have the mask on. But if you're in a public place, if you're in a grocery store, if you're in a crowded public area, yes, people wear masks here. So right now, those are the restrictions. As far as coming into the country, the restrictions are pretty simple. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't need a test, you don't need nothing. If you're not vaccinated, you need a test 72 hours before you arrive here. If you're from a high-risk country, then they're going to require you to, and you're unvaccinated, they're going to require you to quarantine for 3 days. Now, the quarantine is not so bad as some other countries have done. It's like $75 a night. There's discounts on room service, and they come to your room and test you on the 3rd day and you go. So right now, the U.S., as many of you know, is on that high-risk list. But the U.S. kind of turned a corner in the last week, for those of you watching active cases, stuff like that, that is now on a downward cycle again. And that's all Panama wanted to see. And so, I predict within the next month or so, this is Rod's prediction will be off that list. But that being said, again, for fully vaccinated people, there are no restrictions coming to the country, anything like that. So that is the COVID update. Any comments on the COVID update?
No.
Like, do you feel like on our day-to-day activities, is it any different besides you might have a piece of cloth on your face now and then?
No, actually, what I have found out very positive, even when the rainy season, it is high chances just, COVID is here, but also a flu is here.
Yeah.
We can never get rid of the cold and the flu. And I found out that wearing a mask during these weather conditions, minimize the chances to even to get a simple cold.
It also eliminated my allergies this year.
Yes, also allergy. So, I mean,
See,
that's you gotta
we-
see the bright side of it.
We
It
can
is-
spin the positive on anything.
yeah. But seriously, like, is this inconvenient? But I get it. Sometimes can be harder to wear a mask, especially if you're in a hot area.
Even the digital affidavit online form that you have to fill out to enter Panama, it has been really simple for our guests
Yes.
to fill out now.
Yeah.
It's not as complicated as it used to
It
be.
has been
Yeah.
simplified. I must say, I just returned recently last week from Colombia, and it was extremely easy to do my
5
affidavit.
minutes.
Not even that. It was just very easy.
Now, what I'm gonna ask each of you, did I type that right? Visitpanama.com, is don't ask in a Facebook group, what are the requirements to enter Panama? Go to visitpanama.com. That is the Panama Tourism Department's website. It's updated daily. All the restrictions that we've talked about are on there, the entry requirements. There's a link at the top. And there's a link at the top that talks about the entry requirements. Follow that. Don't take advice off any of the social media sites.
Or
So-
sometimes YouTube videos can be also misinformation. Sometimes. That's just.
Yeah. So Philip says we need to wear a mask when walking. Yeah, you wear a mask when you're in public, any outside or inside.
Yeah.
But there's no mask patrol cops out there, guys. If
No.
I'm walking down a street, I go for walks all the time, and there's nobody around me, the mask is over my chin or it's in my pocket. I'm not, there's no one around me. And I think that the police and the government understand science here. If I walk up to a park where there's 20, 30, 40 people standing around chatting, my mask goes on. So it's as simple as that. It's just common sense.
Yeah. Philip also mentioned that about the form that to confirm that you're vaccinated when you enter, and then also asks where you will be staying. Panama has asked where you will be staying even before COVID, so that's not new. Immigration always asks that. And the form is the digital affidavit, which you can find that.
You'll find
link
that right on
Visit Panama.
visitpanama.com. You'll find all the instructions on how to come to this country on visitpanama.com. And it's in English. It's Panama's official tourism site run by, what's the tourism?
The ATV,
Yeah.
The Ministry of Tourism?
Yeah, well, the tourism department,
Ministry of-
ATV.
Yeah, ATP, Panama Tourism
Yeah.
Authority. Yes.
So that is what's going on with COVID, what's going on with Panama. Now, surprisingly, compared to where we were last year or 18 months ago with COVID, a ton of people are moving here now, right, guys? It's crazy the number of people that are moving here. And now, if many of you guys, I've been getting emails from you, I want to rent a place in Valle Escondido in January for 3 months. Last year, you could have had no problem. It's very tight. Now, I want to talk, I noticed Sam joined us tonight, and I pulled her picture right beside us. If you want to unmute yourself, Sam. Sam is a rentals agent. Don't let that scare you, folks. You want a rentals agent. She is contracted with the owners, so the properties are good, they're clean, you're not gonna have issues with them, you're not gonna have issues sending a deposit, and everything's legal. You're actually renting from the owner as opposed to Craigslist. I had a guy 2 weeks ago that sent a deposit found a place in Craigslist, sent the deposit, went to for his moving day to pay the rent, and was met with 600 people. Yes, that happens in Panama. Guess what? No, there was no owner renting a place, so it was a scam. So use a rentals agent. Sam works pretty well specifically in Cherokee Province, around Boquete and area. Since we started our business, virtually 100% of the people that have moved here have used Sam to find their first rentals. Like she's got the best selection in town. So Sam, just briefly tell us about the rental situation. We're going to talk about Boquete. I'll tell you guys about other areas in a second. Briefly tell us, Sam, what is the situation in Boquete for these people that want to spend a few months here their winter, I guess.
Hello everyone. Yes, so in terms of rentals, it's become very tight market. Finding available rentals of good quality is not easy. We do have good quality rentals, but if you are looking to rent, I would say get in touch with me. I'm sure Rod would send you my email and I can start looking if you're planning on coming. I do long-term rentals, which means between 6 months to 1 year in Boquete. Our rentals range from casitas that are $400 up into freestanding, really nice houses from 2,200. So there's a huge different price bracket for those, depending on what you're looking for. But right now, the market is very busy in terms of rentals. As Rod had said, it's just very busy. There's so many newcomers coming in. It's unbelievable. So that's in terms of Boquete at the moment. It's a very busy market.
Right. All right, then, Sam, thanks. I'm going to give you guys tell you guys how to contact Sam after, but that is in the Boquete and general area. Things in the Coronado area are a little different this year. There is availability there right now. If you're looking for a condo, like a high-rise, ocean view, beautiful condo, you're not probably going to have an issue finding something for January here. But one thing I've noticed, and I think Oscar's noticed too, we've been here 10 years, and prices now in rentals seem to be lower than they were when we first came here. There's some incredible deals. Some of the properties I've seen Sam renting right now are amazing. I saw one go across your page, Sam, today with $900. I said, that I know that property. That was $1,300 4 years ago. So the value is there now. There's places in Panama City, downtown, for $800 right now. There's places in Coronado that are $1,200 that were $1,800 a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, we have also friends. They came in a tour and they're renting a penthouse in Waldorf Astoria, Panama City.
Yeah.
Very prime location.
Yeah.
And that place, you're not gonna get a few years ago nothing less than between 35 to 4,500.
Yeah.
They got it like at 2,300.
Yeah, this is the Waldorf Astoria 2-story penthouse. So there's some great deals to be had in Panama if you want to spend a few months here to see if it's for you. Now, I could give you contacts in every single area. I'm not going to do that. You're going to email us. I just put our email into the chat, but obviously you know it. You wouldn't be on this call without it because you registered for it. So just reply to the email for what area you're looking for, and I will connect you with someone who handles rentals in that area. Cool.
Beautiful.
You got any, does anyone have any? We can open up the question right now. Does anything about rentals? Because I might need Sam to help answer some of them.
How about for short-term rentals?
Short-term rentals, most rentals agents won't get involved in short-term rentals at all. So Airbnb is a good option.
VRBO?
Yeah, VRBO.
And you can direct message the host of the Airbnb and ask for their monthly rate.
Yeah, that's a good tip,
monthly,
Megan. Yeah.
You don't have to pay their nightly rate.
Yeah. If you see a nice place that you want, like a lot of Airbnb guys were really hurting in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and they'll be willing to take it to consolidate a full month. Maybe not 2 or 3, but they'll take a 2 or 1 or 3.
In Coronado, if you want 1, 2, 3 months, I could probably find you an agent there that will work with you. In Boquete, Sam works with people 6 months and over, unless she has something that's short term that she always lets us know, but it's typically 6 months and over.
Yeah.
I have a question for Sam. How's the future rental market looking? Are they building new houses to accommodate the influx?
Well, that is a good question. I actually have a client that currently is looking for land that he's investing in to build casitas for that purpose alone, because it's become such a need. Know that Boquete is renowned for being a tourist destination as well as a retiree destination. So the need is always there. There's always going to be a need for rentals, and yes, there are a lot of people that are investing in properties not to live there but purely just to rent it out as an income and as a lot of them are still young enough to stay in the States and work, but they want to buy property for future income, so therefore they rent it out.
If
So
you're
yes,
not
there
in
is-
a hurry to move, and we're looking at probably 18 months, is there a particular time of the year where there's more selection? In the low season, for instance?
What do you think, Rod? For me, it's been so odd with COVID because we haven't had a low season since December last year. I haven't.
I'll say it's easier, and especially after April, options goes up tremendously.
April through October
April
is
to October,
usually more availability. than-
always,
than now.
because as a matter of fact, I know a lot of snowbirds they come in range from November to March,
Yeah.
and a lot of places become available just started in March.
Yeah.
And somebody they say, hey, maybe I want to rent this for 18 months, and they will just get it for you.
Yeah.
If you're looking December through March, we always say to start looking sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah, like at least 4 months.
Sure.
Yeah, we never saw that last year, but in the past, yeah, if you're looking for good deals and availability, April through October.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have, Tom, we're excited to have you guys with us in February.
Yeah.
Woo.
I know, we're looking forward to it. And we'll come back a couple more times before.
For sure.
we-
Well, you're 18 months away, which is about the average for the people that come on our tours.
Yeah.
One last question for Samantha and or for both of you guys. Is it uncommon for somebody to say rent a good property 6 months before they come down or 8 months? And just leave it vacant until they get there?
No, I would say maybe a month before, if you really wanted to, if you saw a property that you really like, but to spend that amount of money for something just standing there, unless you're extremely picky, maybe, but geez, that's just like throwing money in the water. You're always going to find a rental. There's never not a time that I haven't found someone a rental, and only if you're exceptionally picky, but no, I would not pay for something that I'm not using. And you can't sublet, so it will stay
Right.
empty.
The thing what's happening right now, Tom, it's not that people aren't finding the rentals. It's that what Sam has is gone in a week, but she just listed 4 new rentals today. So she's cycling. So it's basically when you guys do decide to come down, yeah, you might be staying in an Airbnb or a hotel for a few weeks and then find your rental. Yeah. Mhm. Great. Any other rental questions? And then we're going to move on because we're getting a lot of questions in the chat. We're going to actually open the floor here to questions.
We did have a question about rentals in Panama City.
Okay. Mhm.
I think it was, what would the rent be
Yeah.
for 2 months? Goes down a little bit more. In Panama City, say December and January,
Yeah,
in a safe location, walkable.
that's going to be negotiable with an Airbnb guy because no landlord or agent's going to rent you a place for 2 months in the
Yeah.
in the high season. Panama City, if you're looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, high-rise, ocean view or city view, you can get them now anywhere between 8 and 1,200. But if you're looking at short term, I suggest looking at what's Trump Tower called now?
You know, actually,
JW
Ricardo,
Marriott.
I would suggest JW Marriott. They rent short terms as little as 1,800 a month for really nice stuff up on the 30th, 40th floor.
Yeah.
we do know of one as well that is right near the main road,
Oh,
and it's $1,100 a month, 1 bed, 2 bath,
And they do,
and all included.
monthly rentals?
They do.
Yeah.
That was their, something like that.
Yeah.
around that.
So
There
that-
is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Who found that for us?
Ricardo.
Okay, well, send us an information. We got a guy for you. I didn't even know about this.
We have the guy.
So send us an email or your dates, when you're coming.
Send the email.
Yeah. Mhm.
Also another rental question from Gail. Can you find a 3-month rental oceanfront condo near Coronado for $1,000 a month?
Close.
For how long?
3 months.
3 months.
Wait, but which months will that be?
Yeah, if you're looking at a high season,
No.
1 bedroom, you're looking at
1 bed,
probably
1 bath.
starting
Beachfront?
1,400.
Yes, anywhere in the Coronado area.
Yeah, maybe, it's possible,
Yeah.
it's possible, President is
I think during the high season, 1,000's pushing it. During low season, I think you would get that
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
season for sure.
because they're empty. But it all depends. It's kind of sounds like we don't know what we're talking about. We've had 2 years of weird years.
Yeah,
We had a season end in the middle of March last year.
Yeah.
No, 2 years ago. We had no season last year. We don't have, magic,
It depends how many snowbirds come down this high
Yeah.
season, because typically beachfront Coronado, short term, their 1 year lease price would double for 3 months in high season.
yeah.
yeah.
And also because a lot of the snowbirds love to go to Coronado, especially from Canada, which we think is gonna be more traffic of people coming this year.
So your best bet, who is asking that?
That
know?
was
Okay, we won't wait.
Gail.
Gail, your best bet is to email info@retirepanama. We'll connect you with Martha and her team in Coronado, and you ask them that question
Yep.
of what's available right now. Someone might be locking stuff down, say, hey, okay, I'll do it for 11. Or, well, I don't know.
She has a lot of availability in Coronado Bay right now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move off of rentals. Thank you very much, Sam, for helping us. You are a blessing to our company. You look after our guests all the time. Sometimes, like,
Shout out to Samantha.
yes,
Woo!
it's really nice to just say to the 12 people, we're done our tour, and you want someone to live, call Samantha.
Where's the horn, Samantha?
Thank you. It's lovely working with you three also. I'm blessed myself.
Big Sam.
We have
You're in great hands, everyone. Don't go on their tour. You won't regret it.
Right on. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the microphone, even though the majority of you are muted. So if you want to ask a question, you have to unmute first. If not, we will go to the chat. Oh, if you're on a phone, which I saw a bunch of you are on a phone here. Well, we're on the phone, people. Yeah, you hit *6 and that'll unmute your line. But don't all be shy.
Hi.
Yes.
So I've been looking at properties. I'm not ready to move yet, but I keep coming across the phrase white line included, and I'm trying to figure out what that is.
That's appliances.
Oh, what? Oh, the appliances. Okay, fine. Thank you.
They call it white line. I don't know where that number, it's not even a Spanish word.
Línea blanca.
Yeah, linea blanca. So when you translate.
Yeah, I speak Spanish, so I said it in Spanish, and it still didn't make sense to me.
Right, yeah. that-
But it's the
that-
appliance.
There's a lot of words that we have. that
Stove,
we're
fridge,
not-
washer, dryer.
If you do the direct translation, has doesn't
No
make any
meaning.
sense, no meaning, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Thank you.
And it doesn't necessarily mean the appliances are white. It could be stainless steel.
Precisely.
Just that they're included. Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
No problem.
We Latinos sometimes we can be a little bit
Okay,
complicated.
next question, now that we solved that issue.
Next, I got a quick one. Are there facilities to board dogs? Because we will be doing a lot of traveling while we're living there.
Yes, you drop them off at my house. I have a whole.
Oh, okay. You saw him. He was in the video. Yeah.
That's what we do.
We'll pay you for the food. Don't worry.
That's what we do here.
That's
Just drop
what we
off
do
the
for
dog.
you, Tom. And then I'll drop the 3 of ours off at your place when we go.
Oh, okay.
But no, truthfully, yes, there's many boarding places that cost between $12 and $15 a day.
There are dog sitters, house sitters, doggy daycares.
Good. Thank you.
No problem. We got some great ones that we personally use because we both have dogs that we'll recommend to you, of course.
Speaking of dogs, it's Janine here, and I just want to say, it's not a question, but I want to say thank you very much. We've used your services over the past year, as you well know, and our dog's about to go with us to Panama. And also, we've followed your advice about sending a specialized item ahead. We're not ready to send a container yet. So we're using your fellow server techniques and our tower garden. We just sent the first tower garden, as far as we know, that went to Panama. So we're super excited. And we wanted to tell you thank you. So we're going to be heading down for our move. And just want to tell you thank you very much. These guys offer such a range of services. So don't be shy to ask them for help. It's amazing.
No problem, Janae. I hope I was able to calm you down a little bit about that 360-day.
I had a bit of a panic about the 360-day rabies vaccine, and we've got that worked out. The vet is going to name it a rabies 3-year will be the name of the shot.
Perfect.
So we're good. We're covered. They're not going to take her away from me or anything like that.
No. All right, any other questions that somebody wants to ask by voice? And if not, we'll start on the chat ones.
Do you have a bunch coming in here?
Okay, we're gonna start on the chat. So we're gonna go back to, I don't have a mouse.
So from
Okay.
the start
Yeah,
here.
yeah, go for the start, and I'm gonna mute everybody for a second. I'm gonna mute you guys, and Megan's gonna start from the top and see if we missed anything.
I think these ones we
Okay,
went
there we
through.
go. Let's go. No, there's a bunch of important stuff that we missed there. In retour. Retired Panama, I don't understand your cause. Echo is too much in retour.
I
You know
think
what
she was saying that she was having difficulty. She's
Oh,
from
okay.
Belgium, and that we were echoing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where? Okay, I still think I missed a question I wanted to answer there. Oh yeah, daylight savings time. You guys might, I get questioned as often how I say, okay, the call tonight is at 8 Eastern, 7 Panama time. The truth of the matter is Panama is an Eastern Standard Time all the time. But if I put the call tonight is at 7 EST, I know every one of you New Yorkers are going to be calling it at 7 o'clock. But it's Eastern Daylight Time in New York. Like we're an hour before. We don't change our clocks here. There was something I had a hard time getting used to here because everyone changed their clocks. So my friends, well, I know Megan, you're probably used to it now because your parents are in Pennsylvania, so they're an hour ahead. But in a month, they're going to be the same time as you.
Yeah.
So you never know what time they are. So we are in Eastern Standard Time, which is currently the same time as Central Daylight Time. Is that if that doesn't make it any more complicated? And no, Panama does not observe daylight savings time. That's the one I saw. Then the other one, what is your sense on whether the country will bring in a vaccine passport? Wait, I gotta get my tinfoil hat on for that one, so I can get my sense. There's no sense, folks. We're moving along. Panama doesn't seem to want to do stuff like that. Costa Rica did it yesterday, so I don't see Panama doing that whatsoever. But hey, I could be proved wrong. What Panama did, they wanted to open up. Businesses were pressuring the government. We want concerts. We want dance clubs. So the government said, great, you have a choice. 100% capacity, they have to be all vaccinated. Or you can go with 60% and you can go COVID test or vaccination. So they left it up to the businesses rather than mandating the businesses. So, so I don't see, but, it's the government. What can we
It's the
say?
government. There's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
It is, I mean,
So
as a
we're
citizen,
gonna roll with it, whatever happens here. I don't see,
I will say,
vaccine
I will
passports,
say, we gotta do like we do here in Panama, is going with the flow, basically.
We had another question about what if I don't want to wear masks anywhere in Panama? Well,
then don't come to Panama right now.
that is the law
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
that's all
nothing
we
we
can
can
say.
do about it.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to get into any bank, any grocery store.
Oh, you're gonna
any
be
store.
chastised by the locals here.
Uh-huh.
It's not as if you're gonna get arrested or, well, you can. The fine's $50, but it's not, it's not really a big
You, I mean,
deal.
actually, you can get arrested. If
Oh,
the
you
cops-
can, yeah.
If the cops will ask you nicely once, 2, 3 times.
Yeah, they'll ask you to put on a mask. They'll probably hand you a mask to put on.
Yeah.
But,
If
so
you still refuse,
if you can't wear a mask for a medical reason or for whatever your reason is, you just can't come right now.
yeah,
Anyway.
that's the ugly truth.
We had a guest with one of those like face shields that went all the way around and that worked for her in a few places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this shield also works. What else? What other questions do we have? I noticed that we have a lot of.
We had a question about the metro going, will it go all the way to the airport?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
it is almost
Almost
done. I will say that metro is gonna be done in the next 6 months.
Oh, yeah, within the next 6 months. And then
At
there's
least
a
connecting
new
to the
one.
airport, huh?
Yeah, then the new one that's going over the canal,
Well, that's not,
Under.
no, over, under.
under the
So
canal.
the new line of the metro system, that's just super interesting, folks. So it's gonna be under, like enough deepness under the Panama Canal. It's gonna connect to some areas like Arraihan or Capira, and also connecting to Chorrera with some of their bus systems. So that's gonna be a game changer for all those beautiful people. They work so hard. They have to every single day wake up so early to make it happen, to go to Panama City and work.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a life changing for those folks. And well, Panama City, going to the metro all the way from Tocumen, you'll be able, any tourist is gonna be able to jump out of metro in Tocumen, go to Panama City Central, or if you have to go all the way to outside of Panama City, might as well can do it.
This is for you people that don't know a lot about Panama yet. They're just starting to researching. You keep hearing the word, the third world country of Panama. This is the only metro system in Latin America.
Well, no, in Central America.
Sorry, Central America. Thank you for that correction. That was really needed. The only metro system in Central America. It is modeled after some of the top ones in the world, including Vancouver, British Columbia, by the way. It is now larger than Vancouver's metro system. And it costs in Vancouver, where I'm from, when I left, it was $5.75 to ride the entire thing. Here it's 35 cents. And it's showing a profit in its 6th year. So they kind of know what to do things, like how to do things. So
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed.
I believe it's 35 cents every time you get off,
Mhm.
no matter where you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you don't get it for the day, but to ride it from the beginning to the end is a couple hours at least.
Getting there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite long. But you can get the student passes are $12 a month, and the seniors passes are even less, like $8 or something.
Is the metro only in Panama City?
Yes.
Yes, for now it is. They were working, there is a lot of conversations or talking about doing a train system all the way to Cherokee province and potentially to the border to Costa Rica. It has been talked about it, but maybe it will happen, not yet. No, nobody knows when. Initially it was getting started by China, but the current president is saying no to that. And maybe they will, if they're gonna happen, they will do it with European contractor. So that's up in the air for now, but so far, the metro system is gonna wait all the way to Capira or Chorrera.
Major suburbs of Panama
Yes.
City. All right, so our next question was from Gail. If you live in Nueva Gorgona, do you need
Is Panama experiencing inflation?
Pardon me?
One second, I'm just gonna finish reading this question and then we'll open it up to whoever had a question. So if you live in Gorgona, do you need a car to get to Coronado? And does Coronado have everything you need, such as shopping, PriceSmart? In other words, would you need to go to Panama City for anything you can't get locally?
Well, Coronado, in the community of Coronado, there is a convenience stores or small grocery stores. Outside Coronado on the Pan American Highway, there are several plazas that you can get main grocery stores like the Ray, the Super 99, the Machetazo. There is also a Do It Center. There is sports clothing, but not PriceSmart. PriceSmart is not available in that area. If you want to go to PriceSmart, I believe
Yeah, there's one just back.
there is one just passing. That is before that in Westland,
Yeah, Westland.
maybe around Westland and Bacamonte. So
30.
the distance are not too far. If you don't want to own a car, you can get by hiring. If you plan ahead, you can hire a driver, and if you do the purchase just monthly or weekly, you can do it. It's doable. But owning a car, it'll give you a lot of freedom, especially for daily things you want to go. If you're saying Nueva Gorgona, you can just go quick to the plaza, go quick to Coronado for happy hour, visit some friends, or why not go to Rio Hato? There is another interesting areas there. and so on.
There are also a lot of delivery services in
Yes.
that area too now, but a car does give you the freedom to move around. Of course, once you create a community, you could
Yeah.
also do carpool.
Yeah, and you can also get like a very affordable vehicles here. I mean, you can get if you're not too fancy about it, you can get a car with $5,000 in a decent shape.
And Gail, there's one thing I want to point out. If you live in Coronado, you still, like, Coronado is a gated community. It's not the town. The town is Las Lajas.
Yeah,
And the town where the big grocery stores are, the restaurants, you still can't, you still can't walk from Coronado to get all those services. Well, you could, but it's 3 miles or 4
it'll
miles.
be a long walk.
So Coronado and New Gorgona are very similar distance to all those major stores. So having a car is great, but like Oscar said, you can hire a taxi, you can hire a car service.
Yeah.
You know, you can still get around. But we always, and I do it too. I said, hey, I just arrived in Coronado. No, I didn't. I arrived in Las Lajas. Coronado is 3 miles south of here.
Yeah,
So yeah, Coronado is the gated community. The town where the Ray is, the 99-cent store. And the sort of
that's in the
Superman.
entrance to go to Coronado.
Yeah.
Which is Las
That's
Lajas
actually
town.
next, yeah, which is the town of Las Lajas. Yeah.
Yeah, although belongs to the district of Chami.
So we like New Gorgano because of the value
Yeah.
there. Like you guys just spent some time there. Tell us about it. You spent some time there 2 days ago.
Yeah, so we were there recently. We were invited by our awesome friends, Mary Ellen and Bill, and they have this apartment on the 14th floor with this ugly view.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wake up and just the waves right there. You feel like you're sleeping next to the ocean, which is very relaxing. So they have an amazing place, and that's some prime locations. There are some prime locations in Gorgona, but there is many other options like homes, and there is more options like other type of condos, some more luxury than others. But Nueva Gorgona is definitely a nice spot.
It has a lot going on. There's
A lot going
activities.
on.
Our friends go play pickleball every
Yeah.
single day.
There's
They
becoming
meet up with the people in their building. There's plenty of restaurants. They do trivia, live music.
And you know what else I like about Gorgona? For those that wanna be on the beach, they wanna have some influence with Expats. We also wanna have a lot of influence with the Panamanians. But New Gorgona is the spot. There's a lot of Panamanian influence.
The biggest draw is just that oceanfront condo life.
Yeah,
Is it cheaper there? Like, let's say a unit in a tower in Gorgona compared to Coronado. Is it cheaper in Gorgona? The exact same unit. Same
right now what they have is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a studio in the 14th floor, ocean view, and they got a sweet deal, long term, of course, long term. I think it's like 1,200.
It's not the same amenities you will find in Coronado.
Yeah, no.
So it depends on the building. The prices are very similar. But you're gonna find a little bit higher rates on the buildings that have the huge social area on the rooftop and the beach
And the
floor.
bar, yeah.
They have a gym, they
Right.
might have an arcade and conference room.
Yeah, it's hard to compare that building, for instance, with Coronado Golf or Coronado Bay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard.
But the prices are comparable.
Yeah.
Well, I actually haven't been invited by Bill and Mary Ellen yet to spend the weekend there. Are you guys on the call? But Mary Ellen did send me cinnamon buns home with you guys, so I was pretty
Yeah,
excited about
yeah.
Still loves
You
you.
start with something.
that. Okay.
Rod, you can come to our house when we get there, okay?
All right. Will I get a beach view?
Duh.
I just wanted to mention, because right under this last question we took, Mary said she had the same question as Gail, except for Petitsi. So do you need a car? Do you have everything you need right in Petitsi?
There's a good question.
In Pedasi, you basically can have a lot of things more basic. Is walking distance in Pedasi. You can have a nice condo with a swimming pool, I think 2-bedroom, for around $900 monthly. You can get less. It's all about how you make a deal with the renter. Like for instance, in this building.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as needing a car, It's
Okay,
not
that's-
necessary. You can walk anywhere in town. You can, or even a bike will get you around town. It will
Yeah.
get you to the beaches. But a car is just adds some convenience. If you want to take local transport to say Las Tablas or Chitre, you can do that with the local bus system. There are shuttles that you can take all the way to Panama City to Pedasí and back and forth for about $35, $40, I think it is currently.
Yeah,
And that's 5 hours. It has main shopping. If you want big box stores, you have to go to Chitre. If you want a price mart, you have to go all the way to Santiago. So an hour or 2
2 hours.
hours. 1 hour to Chitre and 2 hours to Santiago. So it's not the same options you get in Coronado, but you have the main amenities there in Pedasí.
My answer to that, I live in a small community of Dolega, 4,000 people in greater Dolega. Now, could I live without a car? Absolutely not. But my neighbor, Stephanie from South Africa, she's never had a car here. The neighbors across the street, other expats, they don't have a car. But it's more of a personal
Yeah.
choice for me. If you're used to, like when Megan came here, she was hopping on and off public transit wherever she was. Like she didn't have a car. She was,
and me too.
yeah. But for me, no, I need my car. I'm a car guy. I've got to have my own transit.
Yeah.
I've been on the bus twice here only because I was going to pick my car up at the garage. So, so I think it's a real personal choice. If you're comfortable, the buses are safe. The walking around is safe, like especially Tennessee. My goodness. So yeah, if that's the only concern, there's no issue there at all.
Yeah, and very reliable too, and very affordable. And
Okay.
even taxis, a lot of people who don't have cars get the local taxi drivers' numbers and they have them on speed dial.
For sure. Okay, I've lost the, okay. Now, if anyone wants, we'll take a break from the chat, which we have another 24 questions to answer. But anyone want to unmute and ask a question here?
Don't be shy.
Why is everyone shy today?
We'll remind you that you have to hover over your screen and to unmute is in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, I can't unmute all, so.
Hi, this is Phil. I asked in the chat, but I guess my question is, are you experiencing inflation in Panama and or shortages of certain products in Panama similar to what's happening now in the US?
Well, we're experiencing shortages of products that we buy from the US. So we're in the same situation with cars and stuff like that, and computer chips and stuff like that. Inflation isn't, no, we're not in the 5.3s like that, like the US is. We've been pretty steady over the last 10 years, 2.1, 2.3, stuff like that. Haven't seen the numbers yet from this year. We don't track them every single month or every single week like the US seems to. I really don't know how they calculate those without averages myself. But so I don't think we're going to be anywhere near the 5 like the US is. But the only thing, like I said, the shortages, if the US is short of something and we buy it from them, yeah, we're going to be short of it too. But like a lot of the shortages from in the car industry and stuff like that, we don't manufacture cars here, so that's not really an issue. The issue is on the back end of, importing the vehicles. So right now, our economy, the World Bank has projected this year's economy is going to be 2.2% growth. Now, a year ago, because of COVID, they were expecting a 4% drop. But now, since we've recovered well, our canal is above projected numbers from 3 years ago, and we get a lot of revenues from there. So that everything's still coming through here, and freight is at a premium now, and Panama is benefiting on that, obviously, because a lot of the freight goes through here. With the price is so high, we're taking a commission off of all that. So, we're there. The World Bank released, I think it was in August, that Panama's GDP will grow by 2.2% in this COVID year, which is excellent. and not seen any, large amounts of inflation. I try to read every single paper there is on Panama Bill, so. All right, any other questions?
I guess that's a yes.
Oh, yeah, I thought you needed that. The
Smack
dog
your head
is out
on the
here.
desk.
I want to say hi to everyone, Dutch.
Oh, there she is.
All right, Megan, do you want to pick another one out of the chat? Everyone is so quiet. Oh, wait, who's there?
Go.
Any other live questions?
Hello, we were wondering how stable is the banking industry?
Great question.
Good question. If you look at the history of the banking in Panama, like I have since 1903, Panama's never had a banking failure. Panama banks don't have oh my God, I can't, I'm not an American. I know what we call it in Canada. What's the insurance called in the bank? That,
FDIC.
Thank you. Yes, those 4 letters. We don't have that here. Why? It's never been needed. There's never been a banking failure. Currently, we pay starting at 2.5% to 3.5% interest on savings accounts. Our CDs are between 4 to 6.5% on a simple $10,000 to $100,000 CD. So our mortgage rates, yes, are 6 to 7%. That's because our economy is healthy. Just like, the 1980s and back in the USA and Canada, mortgage rates were at that and people earned money off their savings. That's where Panama is right now. You can earn, and Panama is designed for people's success in trying to save money, because you can earn, you don't pay income tax on up to $500,000 of savings interest. So if you have money in the bank earning your money, you don't have to pay tax on that. Why would you? You've already paid tax on it. But as we know, in North America, we have to pay tax on that money again. So banking system here is solid. It's one of the most private and solid in the world. There is no longer any North American bank doing business in Panama besides Citibank, which is doing some business, but no personal level banking, because they can't comply with Panama's regulations. Panama requires 5 times more in the vault than the US does at every bank, which is the biggest reason why the US banks can't comply here. But yeah, just do some history, like go back in years, imagine that, Oscarism #1. Yeah, and like during the 2008 crisis, the Panama Banking Board, which is Banco Nacional, basically, we don't have a Federal Reserve. We can't print money, and but the Banco Nacional got together met with all the banks in Panama. We got to put together $2 billion. This thing's going to go south on us. Blah blah blah. None of the reserve money was needed. All the banks here never had an issue. Between 2008, 2010, there wasn't even a hiccup here. Except there were some U.S. companies that defaulted on their debts. Okay, so yeah, so I'm a big fan of everything I've read and everything I've experienced here on Panama banks. Now, do they give you the customer service that a U.S. bank? It kind of makes me feel like I'm going to a Wells Fargo or something, like no customer service whatsoever. I hope no one works for Wells Fargo on this call. So I've just had some bad experiences with them. So no, you don't. They don't have great service in their banks and stuff like that. But trust me, they are transparent. Your money is. I'm not going to tell people to put all your money in one bank in one country. No. Why would you do that anyways? But the banking history here is good, basically. That's what I think.
Very good. Very stable.
You can't open an account unless you have your residence visa, correct?
Currently, that all changed, Tom, early this year in January. The requirements to open up a bank account in Panama is in the process of residency. You don't have to have the permanent. You need to be in the process. So you need your temporary residency card and a letter from your lawyer. You need a bank reference from your foreign bank. You need a lease or a home purchase agreement. So they need to know that you live here. They don't just open up bank accounts for foreigners in Panama anymore. So
Okay,
once
thank
you
you.
get through all those procedures, and you need about 2 weeks of patience, and then keep asking for more documentation, so you'll have a bank account. And once you have one, you can open as many as you want. Same day.
I have a quick question. Is it necessary or better to get police clearance before you leave your home country if you intend to get a visa, a pensionado visa?
If you intend to start the pensionado visa process within a month of arriving here, it's easier to get the police clearance when you're at home. It's easier and it's about $150 cheaper because you don't have to do the courier stuff back and forth, the international courier. Yeah. But getting a background check is so easy right now. Megan went through it last year. How long did it take? 7 days?
Yeah, less than a week.
Yeah, you gotta go, gotta make sure you got the right lawyer. And they're gonna set you up with a facilitator that's gonna charge you an extra $50, and your FBI check will be done in 7 days as opposed to 3 months trying to do it yourself.
Any kind of paperwork you need like that does expire in
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah, it expires in
So
6
you
months. That's
have
why I
to
say.
apply
if
in that time frame.
You can come here, live for 3 or 4 months, and then apply, and then it's just gonna cost a bit more to get the paperwork done. So if you're at home and you plan to apply within the first month, get it done when you're at home. You also got to get your marriage your marriage certificate and a new copy of it, and that's got to be apostilled and authenticated and all stuff like that. So just make sure you start in the right place with the right immigration lawyer. If you want one, just email us. I'll connect you. Tell me a bit about your details, where you're from, stuff like that, what type of visa you're getting. Oscar and I have had some that we've used for 10 years that have not failed us. The ones that have failed us, we no longer recommend, obviously.
I have a question about banking compliance.
Yes.
For those people who are from the US, as you know, the US has a lot of compliance requirements in terms of reporting. And recently, there's a lot of talk about reporting any transactions that are $600 or above. So basically, the majority of transactions that go through a bank account needs to be reported to the IRS. So do you anticipate any problems with Panama banks not wanting to service, let's say, US customers because of the burdensome compliance requirements?
That's a great question, Kevin. I heard what you were talking about too. 10, 15 years ago, it was almost impossible for an American to get a bank account in Panama. Then they kind of made it easier, but don't forget, if you open a bank account here, one of their documents you have to sign is a W-9. So the bank is going to report on your balance and everything from Panama. They are required to by international law. Now, as far as I know, the $600 transaction limit is not in place yet in Panama. They aren't doing it. They're obviously doing the $10,000 one, which they do with most countries. So so right as of today, none of our bank managers have phoned us and said, "Hey guys, we're changing the rules." So no, I don't know anything about it. All I know is that the Panama complies with the U.S. authorities because the U.S. kind of has a gun to their head and saying, "Hey, you can't use a SWIFT code system for wiring money if you don't, tell us how much money this guy has in his account every year." So Panama is not a place to hide money. And at one time, maybe 40, 50 years ago, before Noriega even, yeah, maybe it was. But Panama, you hear about Panama Papers, that's nothing to do with Panama banking system. That has to do with one law firm in Panama City that opened up bank accounts in other countries. No Panama bank was ever named in that. So Panama banks are too strict to money launder through right now. So that they report everything to the IRS if you are a US citizen on a W-9 every year.
Yep,
Okay,
that is true.
thanks.
Like again, all of banking.
Hey, I see Joanne Hatch on the screen. Hey, Joanne.
Joanne.
how are ya? Haven't seen you forever. Why don't I
Been
run
too
into you anymore?
long.
Have you moved? We used to run into Joanne all the time. Okay, any other questions?
More questions? Yes, do.
Okay, Megan, what do we got?
We had some questions about rentals and real estate in El Valle de Anton and Volcan area. For those, we would probably also pass you on to Inside Panama Contacts.
Yeah, they have a few rentals in Valle. The small towns, Oscar, you can speak to this too. Valle, Volcan, Petitsi, it's kind of really boots on the ground for rentals.
It is. Sometimes you
You
find
need to
it.
come, you need to come here, stay in an Airbnb and go to the little restaurants, and find the 4 rent signs on the door.
Yeah, it can be like that archaic in a way.
Yeah.
Literally, especially in Volcan. In Volcan, a lot of people, or
Well, Petitsi is like that too.
Yeah,
No one
sometimes
lists a place for
you'll
rent.
see sometimes on the Facebook, but the thing is, if you're not never been here, it's always like it's a risk, you know. You don't know if it's really legit. Like it's full.
Yeah, or you get,
You can get more coffee.
Oh, okay. Okay, you guys carry on. I'll be right back.
yeah, so there are a few places now in those areas that are popular for short-term. Some of the hotels or like suites are known to do short-term rentals, Airbnbs. And then once you're there, you can really start talking to the locals and even real estate agents, and you can check out more rentals when you're there. It's not the huge quantity of rental options the way it is in Boquete or Coronado or Panama City.
That's right.
Mindy said if I'm coming in May to Boquete, how soon should I contact Sam?
Probably, I would suggest, in
March,
my
April.
opinion, March, April, yeah. March will be safer, just to touch base.
Let her know what you're looking for, so in the next month she can keep an eye out for you.
Because we usually between March and April, our things are coming available.
May is a great time to be renting.
What else?
White line. We covered a lot of these questions.
We have, yes.
Is it required to have a vaccine to cross over to Costa Rica or Colombia? A question from Charles and Judy.
Colombia is a.
Well,
yes, we'll say no. So,
in Colombia, no, we're not requiring vaccine cards. Actually, it's now they're pretty open.
yeah. Costa Rica, we don't know yet because Costa Rica just implemented a vaccine passport program yesterday, so we don't know what their rules are.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to go. Colombia, we know. But,
It's just because I got vaccine, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm just speaking myself. Like, yeah.
Well, no,
Don't worry.
yeah,
So you don't even need a test to go into Colombia
No.
currently.
we always say, and it's nothing, guys, like we believe it's a choice, but 3 of us decided to get vaccinated, so that's who we are. So it is what it is. So,
It is, yeah.
so like Oscar and Megan have been back and forth to Colombia twice in the last 2 months, so it's just pass your card through.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just do the registration migration, either going to Colombia, coming to Panama. It's very straightforward. But yeah.
Oh, there's an
Costa
interesting,
Rica, we'll see.
Costa Rica, yeah, shall we see?
there's an interesting question.
Which one?
MEI teacher.
Is it true that Panama is now accepting Medicare for US citizens? No, that's not true.
It's not true. False.
Yeah. Medicare is not accepted in Panama as a payment method for any person living here, for sure. Medicare is, and get your information from the source, folks. I'm just going to share my screen for a second, if you don't mind me. Which screen is it?
The last one.
This one, down below. Right there.
No, this is the screen here. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot to hit the share button. Share. Okay. Medicare.gov. Go to the site. Look for the coverage outside. What does Medicare cover? This is a huge, healthcare is a huge topic in Panama. Now, this is for people, I'm talking to people who are planning on moving here and becoming a resident of Panama. That means you're no longer, home is no longer the US. You're not a resident. So when does Medicare, this is from Medicare.gov. This is downloaded right from their site. You can go find this yourself. There's 3 situations where Medicare may pay for certain types of healthcare services in a foreign hospital. So if you're in the US and you have a medical emergency and the foreign hospital is closer to the nearest US hospital, if that doesn't make any sense to you, they're talking about if you're right on the US, the Canadian or Mexican border, basically. So you can, if you're, let's say you're in Minot, North Dakota, or sorry, Peace Arch, North Dakota, and it's faster to go to Estevan, Canada, than it is to go to Minot. So they'll treat you and they'll cover you there. When you're traveling through Canada from Alaska, between Alaska and another state, and you have a medical emergency, the Canadian hospital can cover you for Medicare. Now, the third one is if you live in the US, meaning your home is in the US, and you end up in a foreign hospital, which is closer than your home, obviously, with an emergency situation. Now, if you read all the small print here, which goes into, I'm sorry, it goes into 30,000 words. We don't have that time to read it. If you have Plan B, option B coverage, which is now $165 a month. And if you have some travel insurance on your Medicare, one of the other plans, I think it's G or H, then you may be covered for an emergency situation. Broke a leg, car accident, stuff like that. But general medical care, and please just go all the information. You don't have to go anywhere else. Don't let anyone sell you the information. Medicare.gov will tell you all the information for foreign residents. And don't forget, if you decide to move to Panama, don't try to cheat your system back home. You can get in a lot of trouble. I've met people here that have lived here 10 years who are still filling out their tax returns as if they live in the States. That is a felony, folks. Read the first line of your 1080 that fills in the address, or the line when you sign. It is a perjury to say that this is my address in the States, but you actually live in Panama. And a lot of people use their kid's address because they feel they can cheat Medicare or Part B or Part G or something like that by pretending that they're on vacation in Panama. So just kind of be careful there. So no, Medicare does not cover your health insurance. You need health insurance in Panama. I'm not going to lie to you folks. If you want full international health care in your 50s, in your 40s, it's cheap as dirt. It's a dinner out for these guys. In your 50s, like me, it's very affordable. I paid like $150 a month, and it's 100% covered with no deductible. I don't pay a penny for healthcare. When you're in your 60s, it starts costing some money. 63-year-old, I could bring the quotes up. Here, I had this in front of me here. We're gonna really dig into this for a second. I'm not sharing my screen now. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to show you a very recent healthcare quote I got from a very reputable company in Panama. Healthcare. I had it open. It'll close. Okay. Quote. And let me go back to sharing my screen. I should share a different screen. That would be a little easier. Okay. There we go. Worldwide Medical. Great company, by the way. So let's go. This was for a 62-year-old female, 27. So she's paying $230, $222 a month. Where her 65. So the man turned, yeah, The couple, by the way, is
Rod and
Oscar,
Oscar.
Rod and Oscar is the couple in here. This
That's
is
a little
our
wrong.
agent is
She didn't
having a
even
little
get your
joke.
guys' last name
Yeah,
right.
Hey.
a little agent, yeah. So 65, every 5 years is the price increase. So 62, it was 2772 divided by 12. Oh, that's so funny. 231 at 62 years old. And I'm gonna tell you what this insurance covers you. 35, 34, 32 divided by 12 is 286. So until you're 70. At 70, it's gonna go over 300. But there are some options after you're 70, stop traveling. This is worldwide 100% coverage with no deductible in Panama and between 2,000 and 5,000 deductible in the US, depending on what you're getting done. This plan also serves as a Part B. So you could dump your Part B on your Medicare. And if you wanted to go back to the States to have some work done, the Medicare could take care of the deductible and the plan takes care of itself there. So you'd have zero out of pocket. So you're looking at, someone in their 60s, yeah, between $200 and $300 a month for full international health care. Now, once you get to your 70s, some people say, hey, I don't want to pay that much money again. We have plans here, local hospital plans, which start as little as $108 a month, and they go to the highest point when you're 100 years old to $180 a month. And they cover 70% of the cost of your health care, and you pay it co-pay it free. So that is an option some people drop to once they get older, because the full international ones can get expensive. So you can get this quote yourself, right from, you can see this came right from Worldwide Health. We use a broker, an agent, and we highly recommend everyone use an agent. And I can guarantee you our agent, her price would be the same as ordering right from getting a price right from the company. She can get you a price from Cigna. She can get you a price from all MapFree, all the top healthcare providers in the world. If you want to know who she is or want to be connected, just let us know. So there again, I go, Medicare won't fully cover you as a health insurance plan. There might be some instances, depending on your situation and your Part Bs and Part Gs, whatever you have, that Medicare could cover you if they still think you're living in the US. But I would be careful there. So
Yeah. So it's just a reminder.
that was a big question.
Yeah.
Please look at our website, retireinpanama.com. On the right-hand side or down at the bottom on your phone, you'll see healthcare. I've written a lot about healthcare. I don't want to lie to you guys to tell you healthcare is so cheap, health insurance is so affordable. It's a huge thing. If you're thinking of retiring here and in your 60s, you're going to average $300 a month for each of your healthcare. So you're going to think, is that right for me, or do I want to consider using the public system here, which is an option. I personally wouldn't do it. A lot of people have. I know someone in Panama City just had a hernia surgery, 3 days in a hospital. He got out, went to pay the bill, public hospital. It was $185, and he was offered to pay it over 12 monthly payments.
Outrageous.
Yeah, so, but that surgery in the public would have probably been about $7,000. That surgery in the US would have been $60,000.
Yeah.
Okay. I've rambled on way too long. What other questions do we have, guys?
So we have a question from Milton. Hey,
Milton.
Milton.
Milton's coming to visit.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh. He
Looking
was
forward.
having some difficulties with health affidavit. He said they're the street part or calle part. He doesn't have a physical address. We might need some more details from you on that to understand.
Yeah. They're not going to know where you live. You're going to Tennessee. Put Calle Central.
Yeah.
154 Calle Central. That's where you stay. Put it on there. Really, that's all you got to do.
Big house next to the mango tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, blue house, write it in English. They won't understand it anyways, Milton. It's not a big deal. They want it like basically city, province. If you get that right, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're right, probably just Calle Central.
Yeah, that's
Calle
what I
Central,
used for my
that's it.
address in Boquete for years. And with, on my bank
I don't
statement,
even bother. I just
Calle
put, I,
Central. I've never lived. I don't
I
know
always
where it
put
is.
Alto Boquete or Bajo Boquete, and that's it.
Yeah,
If
we
you
don't know
look it
what
up on
street I
Google
am.
Maps, there will be a street name.
Yeah. But if you do the Central Street, it'll be just fine.
Hey, first time attending your Zoom. Thank you so much. Hey, well, thank you for attending.
Thank you for attending. What's the question?
Got a lot of people interested in Valle Escondido. A popular spot in Boquete.
I love that spot.
Hey, Philip, you got a great question there. It's a very unique question for everyone. So obviously I would have to know a lot more. This is my specialty in the country, the legal logistics between countries. Feel free, retireandpanamatours.com. There's a phone number at the top left of the screen. Feel free to phone it. If I don't answer, just leave me a voice message. You can give me a little more details. It all depends. How many days are you going to spend here? If you're going to spend 183 plus days in the US, then you want it, then you can be here on travel insurance alone. Travel insurance, like trip insurance. Like you don't even need residency here. But if you want to take advantage of pensionable discounts and 25% off your airfare, then you want to get residency here. And that's where there's a mix, there's a play we can do to figure out what's the best method for you, depending on your situation. It's nothing I can answer on a general call, but I would be happy to talk to you sometime if you want to give me a call. Okay, we're getting down to the wire, guy. We only have a few minutes left.
Oh,
I know, Dairy and Cherokee have issues with the Ivan Water Company shutting down. Okay, I didn't see this question. Did you skip that one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh,
Go
okay.
for it.
No, you go. Sorry.
Yeah, so from Jesus, he was asking if the areas of Boquete, Pedasí, Darien, and Cherokee have any issues with the water line shutting down, like they've been having issues in Panama City and surrounding areas.
I would say Pedasí and Boquete is getting better. Definitely Boquete has gone better because we went through major works replacing pipes years ago. Now the power outages are none.
Well, the power and the water
are
slim.
Yeah, but like maybe 5% of the time. Pedasí,
They were doing the same
In the
thing
dry
too.
season,
Like, they
yeah,
had
but-
water problems, but not
yeah,
really
no,
bad.
not major.
They
I
were-
mean,
like they're
almost-
talking water here, not power.
Yeah.
Yeah, water, sorry
So,
water.
I mean, most places in Boquete and Pedasí do have backup water tanks, so you might not even notice it because of the years of instability with water. But I have not heard any complaints.
I've been in this place in Delega for a year next month. I've never had a water outage. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, I'm the smallest little town, but it was when you and I first moved to Boquete.
Even
12,
2
10,
years
12
ago.
years ago, it
Yeah.
was every month.
Yeah,
water
it was
out
quite
for
often.
2-3 days sometimes.
But 2 years ago, they redid the water system
So
here.
it's getting better. Infrastructure is getting much better. Little things. When I moved here, when you were looking for a rental, they said, we have high-speed internet, 2 megs. We have fiber optic throughout 90% of the country with speeds up to 1,000 megs, guys, at a cost of half the price of the US and Canada. I have, like, in this house that we're in right now, I have my 200 meg internet, and it's $29 a month. It's insane.
90% of where the major populations are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the major populations
Yeah.
are, 90% of the country.
Yeah.
If you go rural, it really doesn't matter because next year Elon Musk Starlink gets launched. So you can be at the top of Peru and get high-speed internet. So,
Well, the tower volcano makes sense because you're next to the tower.
oh yeah, that's true too. There already is towers there.
You actually, your phone will slow with so much internet.
Yeah, don't get it.
Well, and just to chime in, out in Puerto Almuelles, which is really considered pretty remote, we're getting medium, what I'd call medium speed internet, and fiber optic is coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's big news out there. Fiber optic is, I mean, it's coming in soon, like it's already, like people are signing up in neighborhoods. So even some of the more remote and lesser developed areas are starting to get access to
Yeah.
more high speed internet, but we were there all of June, July, and half of August, and we were fine with internet. We were just fine.
Well, Janine, even for you guys, when you start building, like plan on, like really Starlink is gonna take that over. I don't know why. They've got
Absolutely.
so much money. Starlink second quarter is launching in Panama next year.
Yeah, they've got their eyes on that whole region. So
They're
the fiber optic is coming.
Yeah, $99 for 400 megs is, pretty good price for someone who's.
I'll be in.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right. What
Okay,
else?
last questions.
Feel free to unmute and ask us any questions you have.
Yeah,
We've
and
got
we got less than
5
5 minutes, guys, so last minute questions, just unmute yourself.
How to trace a retirement spot for rentals?
Cheap trade,
It's very affordable.
condos, not many at all.
In the new section, yes, there is condos near the Hotel Cubita. There is
I guess
several
I would call
buildings
them
with
more
condos.
like apartments.
Yes.
They're not tall condo buildings. but
Yeah,
they're
no, they're-
apartment
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is.
Hey, holler if you need anything. We'll be there in 2 weeks.
Ooh, thank you. Yeah, Cheap Trade has some great affordable rental options.
Yeah.
All the big box shopping, nearby beaches, very Panamanian. You'll need some Spanish for sure.
If you're willing to interact with the culture, you're gonna have lots of fun. Chitra is so well known to celebrate anything. And when I mean anything, it's anything, good or bad.
Hey, Milton, can you call me tomorrow morning about the digital affidavit? I'll help walk you through it. Like, call me after you get up. That should be about 10 o'clock my time. Because you're in
Okay,
Seattle.
listen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You got my number. Milton was on one of our tours, guys, and okay, we're doing a self-professed promo here. You come on one of our tours and we're gonna help you until the day you land here. And then when you do land here and move here, then we're gonna be sleeping in your guest room. Okay.
And if you haven't taken their tour, please do because it's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You guys
Yeah.
You can sleep in my guest room even without me going on the tour. You guys have helped us so much. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we feel like you went on a tour with us.
Milton and
We feel like we did.
Yeah.
Milton and his sister were with us February, March, I can't remember, like time passes. They were with us this year.
Mhm.
Milton's coming down to, starting his progression, and he's having a hard time filling the phone. That's why you call us, Milton. That's what we're here for, sir. We're here to help you. So I
Yes,
Thank you
expect,
for
I
your
expect,
trust, Bill.
I'm in my office all morning. I expect to hear from you, Milton.
Yeah.
Or I'll just call you.
That's one of the benefits that our company, that's why we try to do more personalized and customer service.
Yeah.
So the three of us were always available for you guys.
Yeah, there's only ever.
Before, during, and after the tour.
There's only ever 12 people on our tour, sometimes 8. And you have the 3 of us that looks after everything. So
Yep.
we are here for you.
I want to just say thank you before the conference ends to all of you, every single of you, for taking the time tonight to give us the opportunity to give us information. I hope the information we have provided has been valid for you guys. Anything that we can do, please reaching out to an email, to a call, and we hope to see you either here in Panama or in the tour.
I have one quick question.
Sure
Yes,
thing.
Patricia.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't plan on living in Panama full time. We have a house here in Texas. We're going to split our time between Panama and Texas. Can we not fill out our income tax for when we? I mean, you got me scared there about if you're in Panama and you fill out your taxes that your income tax that you're a United States citizen, that it's fraud or whatever. So, I mean, if we're like half the time in Panama and half the time in the States, can we not still use our United States address to fill out our income tax?
If you read, like you can read it right on, if you look at it at a 1080 on the first page, it says home address. And then there's a little star that tells you where to look in the book, what defines your home address. A home address simply stated, if you have two homes, where you sleep more, 183 days more.
Okay,
Instead of your residence. If you have other multiple homes, other things come into play. Like the actual statute and law is about 20 pages long. But if it's as simple as you have a home in Texas and a home in Panama, and you're in Texas more than you are in Panama, even by one day, that's your home.
okay,
Yeah, if you decide to get your residency in Panama, which you're allowed to do, by the way, you can have multiple residency. You just have to decide what country am I a tax citizen of? And the US wants you to be a tax citizen of the US, but they don't really care because they tax you whether you are or not. So it's really irrelevant. But filling out the form, if you're in the States 185 days out of the year in your home house, then you leave that US address on your tax form because that's your home address.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
You're very welcome. All right.
Okay, we are wrapping it up. We are like 4, 3, 2, 1 according to Zoom. This thing only goes for an hour and a half. Again, I typed the email in the group for everyone. If you need a referral for rentals, if you need a referral, we didn't talk about real estate here because, well, we don't really push, we certainly don't push real estate on our tours, but people do buy stuff. Hey, we can help you out there. If you need health insurance, really get your facts straight on the health insurance. Medicare.gov is a really good and easy to understand site. It'll explain to you what actually happens to someone who doesn't live in the US and what they're responsible for and what they're not.
And if for some reason you guys decide just to come to Panama based on your own research, but you got here to Panama, you need the extra assistance. We also provide, well, a sister's company is called Panama Expat Service. So we provide all those extra that you might need. Do you need extra assistance to get your drive license?
Yeah.
And extra assistance to go set up your bank account, or maybe to purchase a vehicle, or maybe just to deal with some red tape of Panama.
Yeah.
We're specialists on this. We know the culture. We know how the things are done here. So besides that, we're also available for that.
Basically, it's what you know as a la carte services. We have the tours and we have our a la carte service.
Yep.
And we can help you out with anything you want.
Any way to help make the move
And we
smoother?
offer a ton of free advice like we have tonight.
Anything to make you a happy expat
In Panama.
Can you put your phone number and contact information in the chat, please?
Can you just click on, right, so I don't, like info at, I just put it in the chat. Go to our website, phone number's at the top.
There you go.
There's a contact us form, there's all our information, everything's right on the website. We don't, and phone number is 786-296-0192, but it's all on the website. 296-0192. I'm trying to type. I usually typo.
Beautiful.
All right, guys, you guys have a super night. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. There's 50 of you left here that haven't hung up yet. People started dropping off. So anyhow, what else do we know here, guys? Oh my God, Milton, be talking to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much again.
Mindy's here. You guys see Mindy there?
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Thanks again for everything, Rod. Take care.
Yeah.
We'll be there soon.
See you guys.
We'll see you soon.
Look us up when you're here.
We will definitely, we will see you because this time it's the real deal.
Okay. All right, guys. Talk later.
Bye.